City Assassin does it again.
Live from WICB Radio.
Inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown. And no flag, 92 yards.
This is
It's a goal, the Stanley Cup to the Chicago Blackhawks.
Chicago's Beat.
WICB Radio, this is the Chicago Beat, and I am Mike Mercado. You can reach us at mmercado2333.com or comment us on Facebook at facebook.com/MikeMercado2333.com. And before we do anything else, we need to do something for a man that we have absolutely destroyed over the last few shows. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening right now, please stand up and give a round of applause to Carlos Boozer. As Boozer drops 23 points and 11 rebounds in 42 minutes of play. But he does have a huge turnover at the end of the game as he's driving into the lane on Elton Brand, and the phantom strip of the ball that ends up out of bounds and pretty much seals the deal as the Bulls will end up losing to the Philadelphia 76ers. On WICB Radio, it is time for What I Notice.
It must be true, 'cause I heard it on the radio. It must be true, it must be true.
That in 32 minutes of play, Luol Deng goes 5 for 11, 11 points, 5 rebounds, is walking around the court, holding his wrists, grinning, looking like he's in pain, and will still play in the Olympics this year. Now, it's hard for me to tell somebody not to play in the Olympics. God knows if I was in that position, if I was gifted and blessed enough, I would love to play for the United States. And I can understand why he would want to. But man, after watching this playoffs and seeing how he struggled and just seeing the grind of all season, it would just be nice to see him be able to come back and play next season healthy and ready to go, especially without Derek, for what seems to be the first few months. How about this? The man who's going to help us get to the championship in the perfect world, Rip Hamilton, goes 24 minutes, 3 for 9, 7 points, and doesn't see the court in the fourth quarter. Really? That was going to be the difference between last year's Bulls team to this year's? Was Rip Hamilton, who can't get on the court in the fourth quarter, goes 3 for 9, 7 points, can't hit the ball from 10 feet in? Really? Now, I understand you're never going to match Derrick Rose's play, any player on that team. But how about this off the point guard position? 7 of 23 and 21 points between John Lucas III and C.J. Watson. Now, C.J. Watson had a nice game, dropped 17. Just, if he just hits 2 or 3 more of those open looks that he had in the beginning of the game, in the first half, it's a totally different ball game. You're just not seeing the ball drop for these guys. If you look at the way they're playing, they just look tired. And I think what's coming down to this in this playoffs is the realization that the regular season doesn't mean anything. And I know a lot of fans knew this, and I know a lot of people within the organization understood that the regular season does not mean anything. The Bulls had the best record in the NBA last year. They were the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Didn't mean anything. They lost in the Eastern Conference in 5 games to Miami Heat with Derrick Rose. Without Derrick Rose, and now without Joakim Noah, who won't play the rest of the series, you're going to lose 4 consecutive games. So that means in the last 10 playoff games, you've only won 2 times. One thing that we're learning is Derrick Rose is the superstar of this team, and who should be considered for MVP every single year just from missing the season, seeing how much this team struggles without him. B, the regular season means nothing. It's all about the playoffs. And C, Carlos Boozer and Luol Deng will never be able to live up to their contracts. As good as seasons they have, and as reliable as they've been, they are just that, reliable, decent players. Derrick Rose can hit another switch, can hit another gear. Joakim Noah relies on his intensity and his rebounding, the energy he brings into the team. But Luol Deng and Carlos Boozer, who are supposed to be the number 2s on this team, the other scoring options, can never hit that next level. You look at the Miami Heat, and this is the staple for the Bulls. This is the team you compare yourself to, is the Miami Heat. Chris Bosh, LeBron James, and Dwayne Wade have next level gears, just like Derrick Rose. But that's where it ends. Bench is nice for 82 games in a normal season. But in the playoffs, it's a whole different animal, and we're seeing it now. Did I think the Bulls were going to win this series even without Derrick Rose? Yes. After losing Joakim Noah and just seeing that this team looks beaten, it's almost time for the misery to be over with. You know what this means, though? At least we get to talk about Chicago Cubs baseball for the next couple months. Not good stuff, guys. Just not good stuff. And that is what I noticed on WICB Radio and the Chicago Beat.
It must be true, 'cause I heard it on the radio. It must be true, it must be true.
But after saying all that, I still believe the Chicago Bulls will come back home and take one more game in this series. But in order for them to do that, they have to shoot more than 14 free throws in a game. They're going to need to come out with a better effort. They're going to need to hit the boards hard. And they got to play it loose. It's do or die for the Chicago Bulls as they go into Game 5 down 3-1. So for everybody here at WICB, thank you for listening. I am Mike Mercado and this is the Chicago Beat. The Chicago Bulls will play the Philadelphia 76ers Tuesday, May 8th at 7:30 at the United Center. Keep it tuned in to WICB Radio and the Chicago Beat for all your up-to-date news. Don't forget to follow the show at mmercado2333.com at Twitter or follow us on Facebook at Facebook/MikeMercado2333.com. Thank you again for listening. This is WICB Radio.